Hey everybody, just a short activity for today. We're going to be making a choose your own adventure game with code, and it's going to be a good time. So, first of all, what is a choose your own adventure? Well, there's a book series from back in the day called Choose Your Own Adventure. Some of you may have read it. Um, and these stories allow the reader to make decisions by flipping to different pages. So, for example, in this book, The Cave of Time, perhaps you have the option to enter the Cave of Time or stay home. I don't know. If you enter the Cave of Time, you turn to page 22. If you stay home, you turn to page 44, and likely your story ends or something like that. So we're going to be making these sorts of stories. These stories resemble algorithms, which are step-by-step processes. Each program that we've made is an algorithm. First you do this, second you do this, etc. And so let's kind of get into how we're going to do that. So the game development and software development process, what you start with is you start with a plan. You come up with your ideas, you determine the requirements you need to fulfill, and then you come up with your solutions, your potential solutions. That's called a pitch document in the game development world. So maybe there's like 3 different games or styles of play that you would want to explore. And then after your pitch document, you're going to be narrowing that down and diving deeper into how you're going to execute your plan with the design document. So today we're going to make a design document for your choose your own adventure game. Now, in order to kind of get a preview of what a game is going to be like, I've provided a link to this example called Rock the Game. And that's in Canvas, example game, tinyurl.com/rock the game. This is on story game design document. And your game's going to have a score. You're going to earn points by making correct decisions, and the game could end if they choose incorrectly. So let me show you the example real quick of Rock the Game. So it gives you options. So it looks like we're going to talk with some fellow rocks. We're going to ask Kyle, the igneous rock, about the surrounding area. And then we're going to ask about the government. And then we're going to say, okay, that the High Council is lame. Looks like Kyle is dead, and that's unfortunate. So should we go avenge Kyle or say, Kyle, no? And let's see. The old rock laughs. He sinks back into the ground, do absolutely nothing. And it sounds like I didn't do anything in the game, so my greatness level is 0, and I can retry. So that's kind of the idea, right? You got some options, and then things happen based on the options you choose. So let me show you an example that a student made in a previous year. So in this game, you're a ghost, and we'll be able to have pictures in the background too in your game. So that's nice. So I'm going to haunt this old couple because that sounds like fun. And then I think I'll push them over. And it sounds like I killed them. The end. So and you can see I got a score of -5 for being a mean evil ghost. So that's the idea, right? Here's how you're gonna make your plan, and this is what you'll be turning in today. So we'll be using what are called flow charts, where you have little boxes and arrows that describe how the decisions happen in your program. So we'll be using what are called if statements or conditional statements. We've used this before in the drawing app where we said, if this key is pressed, change it to this color, and we'll be using them more. So go to diagrams.net. Again, there's a link to that in Canvas, diagrams.net, and it'll take you to here. You're going to click start, and then it'll take you to this page where you have to pick where to save your diagrams. I'm going to say Google Drive, and then it'll ask you to sign in. And then you're going to click create new diagram, and then you'll just call this like my game or something like that. And say yes, it'll create your diagram. And then what you could do is over here, we have some shapes that we could use to draw our plan. So for example, I'm going to make a rectangle here. I double click on the rectangle and then I say start. Now, if you notice, if you hover over the rectangle, there's some arrows on the side. And then I can select a diamond from the arrow. And diamonds are used to represent decisions. So my game, you're going to be a knight in shining armor. You knight, do you? And then I'm going to give them the options right here. Slay the dragon, or the other option is go to night school first. Okay. And then I can maybe put little quotation marks around the things I want the player to type in. That way they know that those are their two options. Okay. Now on this decision, I can do the arrows going off to the side here. If I try to slay the dragon, then you are untrained and die immediately, and the score is 0. Let me make this a little bit bigger. There we go. Okay, and then the other option was if we go to night school, then pick your weapon of choice. And then there would be another decision going off of that. I have a bigger example that you can access from Canvas. That's pretty similar. So this is another sort of dragon game. If you decide to cry in the corner, then you get 5 points, and then you end up befriending the dragon in the end. And if you get the best ending, then your final score is 15. So you can see that you can make your game as complicated as you want. Now, I don't want you to have too many decisions because then it will be too complicated. You're going to need to have at least 3 decisions for the player to make. So in this game, there are 3 decisions. Do you fight or cry in a corner? What do you name your dragon? And then the dragon becomes your best friend. What do you do with them? So that's the idea. Again, that's the diagrams.net site. When you've finished creating your diagram, what you'll do is you'll just click the share button, and then you'll make sure that either anyone with the link can share or people in Merit can see it. And then you're going to copy that link, and that will be what you turn in Canvas today. Okay, good luck. Love you guys. Happy snow day. Hope this doesn't take too long for you. And we'll see you back at school on Friday.